folks hanging out. got I'm just having so much fun today. I got Italian music playing in the background. My wife is doing a thing. She works with young people, and she's doing a thing where she works today where they're having like an Italian day. So she wanted to do something special for the kids that she works with, and she was really banging her head around. And she's like, I want to let them cook something. I want to let them cook something. And then we were kind of spitballing. She said we should do like just like something easy. They can make their own pizzas. And it'll be like an Italian day. It's like, all right, fine, it's Italian day, whatever. And then she's like, oh, what else should I do for Italian day? She got really into it. And Italy's my favorite place in the world. And so she said, what kind of music? And so I said, well, here, I've got a couple of channels on my Spotify. So I subscribed her, right, to a couple of my favorites with Spotify. Noemi is an artist that I love, and JX is one that's really good. And so I gave her those two because I knew the kids would love the JX stuff. And so I'm like, all right, so JX and Noemi, now you got music. And then they're going to do the pizzas, right? And then they took some books. So you'll notice up here over my head, I've got a couple of books from Italy. And usually there's a book right here in front of the Torino book that is a Ducati book. It's a Ducati yearbook. And I have a couple of those. And so one was brand new. It was still in the wrapper. I was saving it. But then reality hit. What am I saving it for? What am I saving this book for? I'm 58 years old. I'm going to die. And someone's going to be like, why is this book still wrapped in plastic? So we unwrapped it. And she took it in today. And I told her, I said, I don't care. Give it away. Like, give it to one of the kids. Have a prize. Like, give it away. But it's cool. It's a 2003 Ducati yearbook. So it's just neat. It's like the Desmo Sedici, if you're into that stuff, right? So anyway, that's going. Let's talk about things like this week because I've already laid out a couple of things going live this week. But I just want to like on this episode, this is like when life adds up, like when life works out. We joined the Gun Bros gun range in 2023 when we moved here. But here's the kicker. It wasn't open. They didn't even break ground yet. And so one of the first things I did when I moved to Kansas was I joined the gun club that didn't exist. When I think about these things, so what was my inspiration to join a gun club that didn't even exist? And we were not like in a great financial position when I did that, right? It was like, well, do I really want to commit to $40 a month to be in this membership? And I was like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Because when I lived in California, I had guns and couldn't shoot anywhere. Like I shouldn't say couldn't shoot anywhere. When I was in the Boy Scouts with my son, we would go out to remote areas, Barstow. We'd go out to like Barstow, California, out in the desert somewhere and shoot our guns. But like the idea of having a nice indoor range was just very attractive to me, especially one that was local. And so they said they're going to build this thing, and I signed up. Well, it opened last week. We're a founding member. When I say like when life works out, right? So it opened last week. We go in. We're founding members. The place is unbelievably well appointed. It's got an opulent cigar lounge. It's got this really cool indoor range. I think it's got 8 lanes. Everything's electronic. Got cameras everywhere. Cameras as in like when you're shooting at the target, you can look at the camera and see what you hit. Like there's a camera on your target. And it has games and you can do different things. Shooting a gun. So it is super fun. I took Heidi there. We had a date on Tuesday. We went and shot there for the first time Tuesday, and we had a blast. And she was like, I could see doing this every week. Like this is fun. So is it worth $40 a month to go and have something that you enjoy and you could do every week with your wife? Yeah, it is. It is. Let's talk about some other things. Perspective. I could be upset that I put out a really big proposal and got ghosted by a client. That could be like, oh, I put out a big proposal, I got ghosted by the client. That sucks. That could happen. That could happen. Or we could go the other way. We could say that I put out 4 proposals, and out of 4 proposals, only 1 ghosted me, and 2 are completely closed and already funded. See, that's what I'm talking about when we're in our space. James kicks in. I love you, James. My son is in the Cub Scouts, and he loves the BB gun and bow and arrow range. Yeah, sounds like you're in an old school Scouts troop too. A lot of troops aren't like doing fun things like that anymore. Like we say fun, right? And other parents might say dangerous. But like our Boy Scout troop in California still did like week-long hikes in the summer, pack trips into the desert, like little backpacking tents and stuff like that. When our troop went to like a jamboree, it was weird. Everybody was putting up like these 2 and 3 bedroom tent sets. It was like really weird to see because our troop came and set up their little the little pack tents, and they're cooking on these little burners, and other people are pulling out like camp stoves. It was weird. It was definitely weird because for me, Boy Scouts was all about like that individualism, and somewhere along the line, it became like something different. So anyway, James, great to see you again this morning, man. Great to see you again. So I feel like I want to come live today, and I just want to reinforce like a person of faith. I just want to make sure everyone understands, right? Person of faith. I believe God is God. Jesus is Jesus. The Holy Spirit's the Holy Spirit. Like all of those things. Everyone that goes, oh, do you really believe that stuff in the book? Yeah, I really do. I really do believe that stuff in the book. And when I'm looking at how life is working out, I'm thinking to myself, is this what you had for us? Is this what you had for us? So let me just cover this again, okay? I got asked to speak. So in the last couple of weeks, I got asked to speak at the convocation for the school system. So in August, I'm going to be speaking in front of 1,000 school system employees. Can't wait to do it. And it's a paid event. I get paid to do it, right? So super stoked to do this thing. I know it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. So I'm really, really excited to do that. And I feel like that's one of my God-given talents. I've cultivated it over the years. Obviously, I love to do the public speaking, to get in front of people and to share a message of positivity. I love that, and so I get to do it, and I get paid for it. Like, is that what you have for us? Like, that's amazing. Why I signed up for the gun range when we were broke? I don't know. Life's moved on. We were able to pay off some debt. We were able to buy a house. We were able to, and so now it's 2.5 years later. The range opens up. And now I have access to this like super cool place. My wife are in there, bam, 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 bam. We're having a blast. Is this what you have for us? I got a new mountain bike this week. Now, anyone that's into bicycling is going to agree. Period. You're just going to agree. New bike week is tremendous. New bike, people say new bike day. New bike day. A day? No, new bike week, baby. New bike week. So I got the bike. Crap, what day did I get the bike? I think I got the bike Monday. Yeah, I got the bike Monday. I couldn't figure out how to get the dang back axle off to put the wheel on. And so Tuesday I got the axle off, got the wheel on. Rode it down the driveway and back. I had obligations Tuesday. I had the date night with my wife to go shoot, blam, blah, 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 blah. And then I was working on a car to get it roadworthy for my daughter. So that's important. And then we had a guy coming over to look at the windows on the house. We're going to put new windows on the house. And so I had to be here for that. So I couldn't just disappear on my new bike, right? I wanted to, but I couldn't. Now, perspective. Tuesday, I could have been pissy and said, I just got a new mountain bike and all I want to do is go ride it and everybody's getting in my way. I can't do what I want to do. I could have been like that. But instead I was like, my bike's together. It looks freaking awesome. And I'm going to invite some friends to go ride with me tomorrow and take it out on its, virgin ride with some people. And so it just so happened, again, this is one of those perspective things. One of the other coaches on the mountain bike team said, hey, my parents have a private trail on their property, and I'd like to get, some of the kids together and go over and ride the trail tomorrow. You up for that? I'm like, I'm more than up for that. I got a new bike I want to break in. So I went from, I could have gone and ridden the thing by myself on Tuesday to hanging out with another coach and 5 or 6 of the kids and a couple of the parents on a private trail, just having a good time. Just having a good time. And that's, like, to me, that's beyond the scope, right? Like, to me, that's not beyond the scope. What am I trying to say? Like, Is that what God has for us, right? Like, crazy when life works out. Is that what God has for us? Like, hey, you want this good thing? I got something better for you. You want this good thing? I got something better for you. Now, I want to be really transparent about something else because I don't know how this is going to hit people. So I want you to take this, just take this for what it is. Just take this for what it is. My wife and I don't want to give you too many details, but my wife and I, there is the opportunity, there is this promise that there's some funding coming, right? And so a lot of you could be in this position, right? Whether it's an inheritance, a business loan, selling a house, right? You're waiting for the funding because you're going to sell a house and you've got equity, right? So you're like, you're on the edge of your seat waiting for this equity to come in. You're on the edge of your seat waiting for whatever's got a process to happen so you can get that. All right, maybe it's like a farmer that has really leveraged the house or whatever, and they're having a great season. Like, it looks like everything's growing, it looks like everything's great, and they're waiting for harvest, and they know that when harvest comes, there's going to be a windfall. Okay, so I just want to kind of set that stage, whatever that stage is for you, right? Now there is that part before the windfall where people can get like, oh, this is so stupid. Oh, so-and-so dropped the ball. So-and-so got in the way. So-and-so's making it take longer. So-and-so this, so-and-so that. Who cares? My wife and I had a very real conversation about this, and it's simply, who cares? Who cares? I looked at my wife because it had come up. It had come up like, oh, we should have had it 2 weeks ago. We should have had it a month ago, but now something else has gotten in the way. And I said, well, hold on. What do we need it for? So let's just get back to brass tacks, right? Like, I work, you work, our daughter's got a job, our son's got a job. There's 4 people in this family, and all 4 people have work. So, do we need it? So let's go back. So this is what I say. It's crazy when life works out. It's crazy when life works out. We have already been through some valleys, okay? And I'm not going to say that we're high on the mountain and everything's great, because we're not there, right? But we've been through some valleys. And so having gone through these valleys, I look at it and I go, so like Tuesday, I fixed a car so my daughter could drive it. Part of me is like, I can't believe I got to fix this piece of crap car. I can't believe I got to get out here, get on my back and try and fix this thing in the driveway. This is stupid. But here's the deal. I know how to fix cars. And if I would have taken it to a shop, it would have cost me thousands of dollars, right? Literally, because when you take it to the shop, they're going to go, oh, well, it needs an axle. It needs this. It needs a tie rod end. It needs, oh my gosh. Oh, we can't fix this unless you do this. And so, and I know that that's how it works because that's what I used to do for a living. I used to sell people service. So I know how to do it. So I bought the power steering hose and I started working, and it turned out it was harder than it was supposed to be. Like, Ford tucked this one stupid hose clamp like in this really odd spot. It was really hard to get to. My arms hurt, my shoulders hurt, my wrist, my hands cramped up, and I was like, this is not going well. Okay? And did I get upset? Yes, I got upset. Did I get the job done? Yeah, I got the job done. And then you know what? We have a car that is suitable for my daughter to now drive. And I go back to, like, because my wife is like, well, we should have had the money, right? We should have had the money already. Yeah, but did we need it? And that's what I go to. What would we do with it? Like, as soon as it gets here, we're just gonna write checks and spend it all? Like what do we need it for? Everyone in our family has a vehicle to drive. Everyone in our family has a cell phone. Everyone in our family has access to the internet and a device to access it. I tend to have a little bit more than that. Right? So the needs are met. The mortgage is paid. The utilities are paid. There's food in the refrigerator. Like, life is working out. Not only is life working out, my son's got a new mountain bike. I've got a new mountain bike. We've been to the gun range this week, which I know sounds kind of weird, right? Like, maybe you're listening to this, you're going, why is Kurt talking about that? But it's like, that's something we really wanted to do, and then we got to do it, right? I'm being asked to speak for the convocation. I'm in the leadership thing with the Reno County, Kansas. It's like all of these bits and pieces are coming together and forming this intricate puzzle that is lending itself to the idea of personal completion. And I'm having a really hard time articulating that. It's like everything is fitting into place. And I got to tell you, me as a human, me trying to think this out 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I could not have pictured how well all of these pieces of life would fit together. Are there some things that are distractions? Are there some things that could be negatives? Yeah, everyone's got those. And what I'm learning as I'm dealing with people is there are some people that no matter how good it is, it's horrible. No matter how good it is, it just horrible, right? And it seems like there's no amount of reasoning to get them to understand that, like, no, life is working out for you. I don't really want to talk about details here, but it's I've seen people that buy something, right, and then go, oh, I don't want this anymore, and you think, well, if they try to sell it now, they're going to lose their shorts, and then they go to sell it and make money, and then complain about it, like, well, that was a waste of time. Waste of time. You made the decision to buy something. Then you decide you didn't want it anymore. Then you were going to sell it. Most people would expect to take a loss. You didn't get a loss. You actually got a gain. So, like, that's a praise moment, right? That's a praise moment. Like, oh, that worked out unexpectedly well. And instead, people go, oh, waste of my time. That was stupid. No. It worked out for you. And I think there's a lot of cases where life is working out for people, and people are coming out on the shinier side of something, and I don't think they're recognizing it. I think there's a lot of things to be grateful and thankful for, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for a little more humility and gratefulness, and I think we're missing the plot there. It might sound stupid, like I'm excited because I went to go ride a bicycle last night. I'm 58 years old. I mean, shouldn't I be excited about something different? No, I don't think I should. I think the idea that I'm 58 and I'm healthy enough to go out and pedal and exercise and have fun with people and have a nice cold beverage at the end of it and just celebrate life with some like-minded people, I think is phenomenal. And so I just want to encourage people. I had been reading scripture pretty reasonably regular, because I don't want to say every day, that'd be a lie. But I've been reading scripture reasonably regular for the last year. I find it really hard to believe that has not influenced my perspective. And so when I come on these lives and when you hear me saying find the opportunities within the obstacles, I've always said something like that. But like during the pandemic, I went live every day. Find the opportunities within the obstacles, right? We got to find a way to overcome this. You know, we have a choice. We can either choose to succeed or we can choose to fail. You're not going to choose to fail, are you? Like I would say these things. But now, after having immersed myself in scripture at the level I have, I find myself now identifying more with the lesser known stories of the Bible. Like a lot of people know, you know, David and Goliath, or they know David and Bathsheba, or they know those things. But I think knowing about Hosea and his family, or the intricacies of Joseph's family and the sons, and knowing about Levi and understanding all that, I think that really affects that perspective that I'm talking about. I just want to encourage you. If you're curious, if you're on the fence, if you hear people like me, or you see posts from like Tia Wood, someone I follow on X, she's in the WordPress world. She's wonderful. When you see people like Chris that used to have his long hair and now he cut it short. When you see us and we're talking, like we're like, Jesus saved our lives. Jesus saved our lives. I had to talk to someone the other day. And my fear is that, you know, they sometimes think that life would be better if they weren't here, right? So Very bluntly, I just told them, I said, look, when I was like 20, I had thoughts like that. When I was 20, I had thoughts like that. Now, I didn't do it, obviously, because I'm still here. But think about it if I would have. Think about it if I would have. How many people have I been able to positively influence in the last 35 years? How many people? That sounds pompous and arrogant for me to ask that question, but in that framework, it works. If I would have made that decision when I was 20 or 21, like upset, depressed, oh, life would be better without me, right? If I would have succumbed to that nonsense when I was 20, I wouldn't have raised two wonderful children, right? Hayden and Rainey are both turning out well. Rainey is doing stuff with the ice skating coaching. She's working in sales. Hayden is an auto body technician. He's actually not volunteering. He's working in the summer in Bailey, Colorado. Like, that's good. Me and Heidi wouldn't have had the relationship that we have. We're going on 24 years of marriage now. So, was it rocky? Yeah, it was rocky. But is this what God had planned for us? Is this what God had planned for me? Right? To be able to let me go through the valley, come out the other side, and now I'm able to mentor a group of college age kids from a very real world perspective of what's waiting for them out there. Right? This is what's waiting for you, and this is what you can do to help overcome that. And this is how you're gonna do this, and I'm here for you. Right? That if I would have made that decision when I was 20, none of that would have happened. None of that would have happened. I think about literally the hundreds of business owners that we've been able to consult and help grow their businesses. And it's not a small number. It's not a small number. I think about the mom and pop stores in New Mexico that launched a website through Von Annen Designs and PR before Mañana No Mas was even born. And I think about the coaching and the talks and hey, how do we get someone to buy 3 jars of salsa instead of just 1 jar of salsa? How do we get to do that, right? So thinking that through and then being able to scale that to the point where I'm working with companies like Ducati, Suzuki, BRP, Triumph, Victory, like all those things started small. So then you have to ask, is that what God had intended, right? Are those the puzzle pieces that when you're looking on the table, they all look disjointed? When you look on the table, they look like, what a mess this is. I don't even know what this is supposed to look like. And then as you get older and you start putting those puzzle pieces into place, and they're all from different areas, some puzzle pieces have a black background, some puzzle pieces have a sunshine background, some puzzle pieces have flowery red and purple backgrounds. And when they're all on the table, it doesn't look like anything. It looks like a mess. And sometimes I think we can get stuck in looking at like our things, like we look at our personal life, our work life, our fitness life, and we say, this is a mess. But then if we start to, like, with his help, put those pieces into the right places, it starts to form a beautiful picture. And I'm just really blown away this last week, almost to the point of getting emotional about it, because things were messy. There was a valley. And now I'm beginning to look, and I'm starting to see the formation of this picture that God had intended for my life. And it's all starting to fall into place. And so I just want to encourage people positively. There is, just stick with it. Just stick with it. Because someone will say, well, there's no way to find success. There's always a way to find success. Because is the intention really to make you fail? No. So you have to find a way to succeed. And we got to find our ways to get over that. And sometimes it takes a big change. The big change for Mañana No Mas this year was recognizing, not from an area of being conceited, not from an area of being arrogant, but to recognize we are the experts. Like, we are the experts in WordPress. We are the experts in e-learning development. We are the experts in community website applications. We are the experts in these things, and we have to treat ourselves like we're the experts so that other people will treat us like we're the experts. We had to recognize that if we keep coming to people hat in hand with a false sense of humility, they're not going to see the value and they're not going to want to make that purchase. And so when we began to embrace, we as the company, Mañana No Mas, when we began to embrace, we are the experts. Like, we're the experts. Of course you came to us. We're the experts, right? Of course you want to ask me questions about Lifter LMS and e-learning because I'm the expert in that, right? So once we started changing that messaging and started purporting that outward communication, things changed. And we started to see better quality clients, better revenue. And I go, is this what you had for me, right? Hey, God, is this what you had for me? Like, to climb the ladder and become the expert in these spaces? Because now there's a place to come. People are all worried about this AI stuff. And I'm like, in 2 to 4 years, if you do a good enough job now of laying the groundwork and making yourself an expert in these spaces, 2 to 4 years from now, there is going to be so much AI fatigue on the general public that the demand for real human interactive consultation is going to go through the roof. I personally believe that. I personally believe that as I'm turning 60, my calendar is going to fill up with people that are like, I'm tired of asking Claude and ChatGPT for answers. I just want to talk to someone that knows what they're doing. And we'll be here. We'll be here for that. Folks, I'm going to go. I got a lot of stuff to do today. It's Thursday, so I'm making 4 different podcasts today. We're doing the WP Tonic show today. We're recording the Membership Machine show with the Lifter Ask Us Anything call. That goes live at noon on Central Time if you want to do that. And then if you're part of Lifter LMS Universe and Infinity Bundle, I will see you, hopefully I'll see you on the Office Hours call. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. James, if you're still here, great to see you, man. Great to see you. I hope things are turning up. And I will see you all later. Have a great day.